to all. I, Dr. Vinita Tuli, convener, webinar committee, welcome you all to the special guest lecture series on holistic wellness session organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Atmaram Snatan Dharm College in collaboration with Sattva Nation. Considering today's challenging times and the importance of holistic wellness, Sattva Nation takes a step forward by conducting wellness sessions exclusively for government departments, colleges, associations, and institutions pan-India. 2020 will be remembered as a year of transformation, a year that changed the course of world, its nations, economies, industry, business, and people. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic has dealt a mighty blow to the pace of human lifestyle. Mental and physical health, the impact is far deeper, physically, emotionally, financially, and economically. Sattva Nation sessions provide an opportunity for participants to learn from the holistic wellness experts, which help people to remain healthy, calm, and self-motivated in these challenging times. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome Ms. Preeti Singh, founder, Sattva Nation, and moderator for today's session. I also seek this opportunity to welcome the principal of our college, Professor Gyantosh Kumar Jha. He has been a guiding light for all of us in all our endeavors. And because of his motivation and positive support, we were able to hold more than 100 webinars during the pandemic times. And still we are going strong. Now I invite our principal to share his insights with us.
Thank you, Vinita. Good afternoon to all. Ms. Preeti Singh, founder, Sattva Nation. Dr. Jyoti Kapoor, psychiatrist. Ms. Shikha Sharma, and I think later on, Ms. Shibani Kashyap will join this program. Dr. Vinita Tuli, convener, webinar committee. I welcome you all from my side, from college side, and from the team in this program. In fact, in this pandemic time and in this lockdown, we have started a webinar series in our college platform so that people can be engaged and they can know the problems and they can understand about the COVID and they can in fact get motivated by this kind of series and lectures. I'm thankful to Preeti Singh, founder of Sattva Nation, who has collaborated with our college for this program, and I hope that in future also these kind of programs will be conducted so that people can be motivated and get benefit from these kind of webinars and programs. In fact, we all are facing many type of problems, mental problems, tensions, trauma, fear psychosis, and in fact, anxiety. So these kind of programs will help all of us to cope up with the problem and to get motivation from these kind of series. So thank you everyone once again. I welcome you all and I'm grateful to Sattva Nation for collaboration and hopeful that in future also these kind of programs will be happening. Thank you so much. Over to Vinita.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Preeti Singh comes from a stellar corporate background, coming from brands like Radio Mirchi, Economic Times, presently working as director with the National Real Estate Development Council under the aegis of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Government of India. She made a significant professional progress in her life at a very young age. She's been a motivational force for many women around the country, from motivational keynotes to volunteer works for CRY and several other NGOs to organizing workshops and events. Preeti has been constantly working towards her goal. Beauty is inside out and is not just about bringing the best of the physical appearance, but also bringing the best from your mind and soul. Preeti has started Sattva Nation, a festival of holistic wellness with the purpose of spreading wellness in society and also helping youth to achieve the purpose of their life. Now I invite Ms. Preeti Singh and hand over the session to her.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vinita, for a lovely introduction. Sattva Nation is very grateful to ARSC College that today we all of us are together to celebrate holistic wellness, and in such difficult times, all of us got together to help each other. And as Sattva represents purity and wisdom, so at Sattva Nation we believe that all of us are the best creation of
Excuse
God.
me, ma'am.
Perfect.
So that's the beauty of the digital platform, you learn new things and you get the master of IT. Great. So coming back on today's session, my heartiest congratulations and thank you so much, Dr. Vinita, for a lovely introduction to Sattva Nation. And thank you so much, Professor Gyantosh, sir, for motivating us and coming up with such a motivational session for your students. This is an initiative which will help many students to change their lives forever. And I would like to congratulate and my heartiest uh, regards to Dr. Jyoti Kapoor and our guest of honor, Shibani Kashyap. And I see that Dr. Shikha Sharma has also joined us. So Shikha ji, welcome on board. Looking forward for discussing on holistic wellness. As the topic says, we are going to discuss more about emotional challenges what we face in today's time. Especially we have been struggling and fighting a battle due to pandemic. So all of us are going through a very difficult mental phase, and as Dr. Jyoti Kapoor is going to help us understand that how we can know our own emotional imbalance at a better place, and how we can get rid of those imbalanced hormones and mental challenges. And then we are going to talk about nutrition and physical fitness and some soulful music with our guest of honor, Shivani ji. Looking forward, and uh, I would request all the participants, please mute yourself and you can type your questions. I would love to introduce our mental health expert. Dr. Jyoti is one of the finest psychiatrists we have in India today. She has her expertise in mood disorders, adjustment issues, psychiatric disorders, anxiety, emotional problems, and she's currently working as a senior consultant psychiatrist at Bharat's Hospital. And ma'am is also the founder of Manasthali. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much for taking out your precious time. Over to you, ma'am.
Thanks, Preeti, and thank you, the management of ARDS College, um, Professor Gyantosh, Dr. Vinita, and a very good afternoon to all of you. As Preeti already introduced, I'm a psychiatrist working in Gurugram, and it's been over 15 years since I'm in the field of mental health. And I have realized that even though we have been talking now about mental health and emotional wellness, our own understanding of what it is, what our goals should be, how we should move in the direction of wellness and health is pretty limited. No, it's not something that we are taught in our schools and colleges, and perhaps that's one of the reasons why should be talking about it now in these uh, quote unquote cliche word unprecedented event that we have been talking about for so long in the past 1.5 years. So I will be starting with a little presentation so that we can understand what wellness is and what mental wellness is. And then we can discuss about the issues we all go through at some point of time, and how to tackle those issues. So I'll be sharing my screen. So just give me a minute here. Okay. So we are going to talk about mental wellness as to what it is, why we're talking about it, when we have to consider it important, and how to go about it. Now, wellness, if we go by the definition, is the continuous active process of becoming aware of the different areas in one's life, identifying the areas that need improvement, and then making choices that will facilitate attainment of a higher level of health and well being. So, wellness is basically not a destination, it's a continuum. And when we talk about a continuum, there is a neutral point. You may not be ill, but you may still not be well. And in order to grow on the wellness paradigm, what is important is awareness, education, and growth or evolution as we go about it. Now, wellness, we all may have come across the word, and we may also understand that it is not just about being physically fit or mentally fit, but it is defined in terms of 8 dimensions. In fact, if you go on Sattva Nation website, you will also realize that they are also working on this very 8 dimensions of wellness, which are independent but yet connected. And when they are interconnected, they make us happy, healthy, and hearty. I would not be focusing on each dimension of wellness here. My component that I'll be talking about would be primarily mental wellness. But physical dimension is something probably we all talk about, we all know about, but unfortunately, we don't follow that much. So when it comes to caring for our body, although the awareness is increasing, we still end up doing things that do not keep us healthy, which causes lowering of immunity, which causes more infections. And at the end of the day, we are all victims of this physical illnesses. The intellectual wellness part, basically, the intellectual dimension is about growing intellectually, maintaining curiosity about all there is to learn, valuing lifelong learning. So, why learning is important in wellness? Because if you were not learning anything, you were just surviving, you were just doing things to sustain yourself. Life will generally lose its meaning, and we come across many people who feel they are intellectually unstimulated and feel that they are bored and there is nothing much to do. And uh, it is therefore important to understand that learning or doing something that helps us expand our knowledge is not just for the purpose of earning a living, it is also for the purpose of our own well being. Emotional dimension is something that we do talk about in emotional quotient, and understanding and respecting your feelings, values, attitudes is one part of it. Appreciating the feelings of others is another part of it. And when we are able to appreciate the feelings of others, we are able to manage our emotions in constructive manner. We are able to feel positive and enthusiastic. And that's when we feel we have a sense of well-being. The social dimension, the one part of wellness that has been largely affected and highlighted during the phase of pandemic, is that how important it is to connect with people. Now, even though virtually we can be in touch with people around us through WhatsApp and through means of webinars and Zoom calls, social dimension has always been important because man is a social animal, and maintaining healthy relationships, enjoying being with others, developing friendships and intimate relations is all part of being well in the social circumstance. It also includes contributing to your community. So many of us are challenged in the past 1.5 year because of the lack of social communication that we had, and that has also affected our sense of wellness. The spiritual dimension is, again, young kids today, even though we do think about spirituality, we do talk about spirituality, we unfortunately associate it with organized religion. But spirituality is not religion. Spirituality is being able to find a purpose, value, and meaning in our lives with or without organized religion. And when we are able to do that, there is a certain sense of positivity, there's a certain sense of connection with something which is greater than us. And when that happens, we have a more full experience and existence. The vocational dimension, again, an important part of wellness is when we are doing something that we enjoy doing. So our profession leads to personal satisfaction. And if it is not there, if we are a round peg in the square hole, it takes away the happiness. Financial dimension, again, very important aspect. We do not neglect the financial aspect. It is needed for our day-to-day lives. And if we are financially restrained, again, something that COVID has led in current scenarios, affects our overall sense of well-being. Environmental dimension. Now, we are environmentally more aware. How much are we understanding it from the perspective of our personal wellness is something still to be understood, because even though we look at it as if it is something that we need to do for the world, it's something that we actually need to do for our own self. So how to achieve wellness is only done when we first understand what wellness is. And in the past few slides, I have tried to talk about wellness. There is a lot more there. But once we have educated ourselves, we have to ask the question, am I well? Because eventually, my awareness is what makes me who I am. And if I'm not aware, if I'm ignorant, if I'm neglecting my own well being, I am definitely not good for anybody else's well being. Once we understand that there is a problem here, I am not sleeping on time, I'm not waking up on time, I'm not enjoying things that I should be doing, I am not as productive as I should be in my daily life, I have to accept it. So, wellness has to be worked on. It is not something that happens automatically, it cannot be bought with money, it has to be worked on. And since my main emphasis will be on mental wellness, and the main three components of mental wellness are emotional, intellectual, and spiritual, everything else is not far behind, because the physical component of it, or the social component, everything eventually affects us at a mental level. And that is the reason why, even though we try to not really, accept our emotional state as something that needs to be worked on, it is one of the most important aspects of our mental wellness. So, what is mental health? WHO defines mental health as a state of well being in which every individual realizes his or her own potential, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. So, it's primarily about your potential as well as the ability to cope with the stresses in life. So, mental health is not merely an absence of mental disease. Many a times, people, when they are asked to see a mental health professional, suddenly retort by saying that, I'm not crazy. Why should I be going to a mental health practitioner? You need not be crazy to want to be healthy. You need to be more aware as to what your goal is when it comes to mental health. Mental health is emotional and spiritual resilience, which enables us to enjoy life and to survive pain, disappointment, and sadness. And it is a positive sense of well being and an underlying belief in our own and others' dignity and worth. Mental disorder, on the other hand, is an illness of the mind that can affect the thoughts, feelings, and behaviors of a person, preventing him or her from leading a happy, healthful, and productive life. So, if you see, the underlying thing which we are repeating over and over again is one, that we are supposed to be happy and productive. So we are not, oftentimes people justify their sadness saying that, wouldn't you be sad if you saw this news, and wouldn't you be unhappy if things were going that way? Truth is, yes, we would be, but should we continue to be? So the DSM-4 definition of mental illness is when we say there is clinically significant behavioral or psychological syndrome or pattern that occurs in an individual and is associated with distress, disability, or a significantly increased risk of suffering death, pain, disability, or an important loss of freedom. So, obviously, the clinical definition of mental illness comes into picture when we have crossed the stage when it can be prevented. So, health and illness, it lies on a continuum. We all have different degrees of mental health at different times in our lives. So, it's not like we are mentally healthy all the time. There will be times when we'll not be. And most people aren't at extremes, but fall somewhere in the middle. So when you say you need to probably talk to somebody, doesn't mean that you have to be psychotic to be able to do that, or for that matter, neurotic. If you're having adjustment issues, then also it might be a good idea to take care of your mental health. And anyone can become mentally ill given the right circumstances. So it's not something that happens only to a certain people. It's not something that happens to underprivileged people who are struggling a lot or have a lot of stress in their lives. It can happen to anybody. So what factors could cause mental distress? There are many theories and there are many factors. The genetic makeup is obviously very important. We are biological beings, and mind is the function of brain. So when we say that mental illness is a illness, it's because there is a dichotomy that exists in our society. We can go to a doctor for a headache and a stomach pain, but we try not to go to a doctor for an emotional pain. Once we start accepting it, that it is part of our bodies that is getting affected and may need treatment, we might be able to deal with it better. The stress and trauma definitely affects our mental health, and we all know about it. But at the same time, environmental issues, brain chemistry, upbringing, how and the environment a person was brought up in, physical ill health. So if there is a chronicity of physical illness, and we have seen in the past 1.5 year how COVID illness has increased the chances of exacerbation as well as occurrence of new mental health related problems like anxiety, depression, and obsessive compulsive disorder. So physical ill health directly affects our mental health. Substance abuse, one of the very important topics. In fact, I definitely like to talk to children separately about it. We think that if we are under stress and we take, you know, a peg of alcohol, or we smoke a bit, or nowadays we want to rely on more herbal jadi booty kind of things. So cannabis is popular and we think it can help us deal with it. Well, frankly, it's not one of the things that helps reduce mental distress. It causes mental distress. And finally, internalizing issues, not talking about them, keeping them inside, all cause mental distress. So what can be done to stay mentally healthy? We believe in the fact that mental health is a journey. It's not a destination. It's not something that you achieve and you're done with. It's something that you will continue to work towards, like your physical health, like your social health, like your financial health. So if we look at mental health on a spectrum, there is a time when we feel mentally healthy, when we feel that we are in control of our situations, when we feel, there is hardly any stress and we are doing adequately well. But then stress is a part of life and stress will come. How do we manage it? How do we manage our life? Is the time when we work on preventing a mental health issue from stemming up. So, lifestyle management, stress management, time management, they are not just fancy words. We know about lifestyle illnesses, and we know that depression is soon becoming the second most common cause of morbidity in the whole world. Why? Because our lifestyle is making us sicker. And once we reach a stage where we start struggling with the stress we feel with, but we are unable to, handle the things in our lives, we reach a stage where intervention might be necessary before it reaches crisis in terms of, meeting a professional, getting us diagnosed and taking treatment. So what is lifestyle management? Quickly, life is not just a part of us. Life is us. Where, as long as we are in a survival mode, as long as we are just, thinking about, getting a roof on our heads and, eating well and being able to dress adequately and get a work or profession that pays us well, We feel that we are living, well, frankly, many people feel dissatisfied and not adequately happy when they are in these circumstances. So, lifestyle is not just about sleeping and waking up on time or having a healthy diet or exercising. It's also about thoughts, it's also about emotions, it's also about perceptions, it's about relationships, interactions, reactions, and also honing our skills, achieving satisfaction from what we are able to do. So, lifestyle management is a whole big chapter of our lives. And once we are in touch with it, once we start becoming aware of it, we realize there is so much to do and so much to explore and enjoy. Stress management, on the other hand, is something that we are more aware of because we know there is stress. There can be stress of education, there can be stress of loans, there can be stress of relationships. So, stress as a word is nothing but what we talk about in physics. It's a sort of a tug of war. Many a times, people come to us saying that, they don't think there is anything to be stressed about, or they say, my kid, what should he be stressed about? इसको क्या problem हो सकती है? इसको सब कुछ मिल तो रहा है. But stress is not an event. Stress is not a situation. Stress is how you react to a situation. So recognizing that we are under stress is important. Identifying the source of stress, because most of the time it is the superficial things that we think are causing the stress. Getting late to college, not being able to reach in class, having a teacher who doesn't understand me, not having good marks. They are probably not really the source of stress, but the consequence of stress. The source may be somewhere else. So we need to identify that. We need to evaluate our coping strategy. Are we looking at the stressful event in face, or we're trying to avoid it? We are trying to escape it. We are trying to put the blame on people around us. Then we have to learn positive ways of dealing with stress. And then we apply different strategies till we feel we are in control. Stress management cannot be done unless there is adequate time management, and prioritizing, goal setting, decision making, all components of time management also are components of stress management. So prevention is the key when it comes to, having mental wellness or sense of mental well-being. And prevention starts right here, right now. Prevention starts as soon as we step into this word and start, you know, perceiving things around us and managing things around us, be it, cold or hot weather, be it hunger, be it, stress of relationships. That's when the management part starts. But when do we want to seek help? Well, when we are lost, when we're confused, when we don't know where we want to go. Purposelessness and not being able to understand where I want to go is something that makes us feel like we are losing control. And that uncertainty, that insecurity causes a lot of anxiety, which means that we need to be talking to somebody who can help us deal with it. When to seek help: when we wake up feeling guilty, ashamed, pressured, worthless, pointless. You might have a list of words that we want to use there, but in general, if we are uncomfortable and we don't know what to do about it, we want to talk about it. We need to talk about it. The warning signs here, um, you might read about it, but do you pay attention to it? Do you pay heed to it is important. When somebody says, I'm sad, and then they justify, it's okay. We are all supposed to be sad, isn't it? Are we denying ourselves, or trying to, ignore a problem? It is possible because if sadness is persistent or frequent, if anxiety is persistent or frequent, if there is persistent loss of interest, persistent lack of motivation, persistent social withdrawal, fear, paranoia, odd or strange thoughts, suicidal ideas, hopelessness, helplessness, worthlessness, unexplained physical symptoms, then it means that we need to see a doctor or we need to talk to somebody. Unexplained physical symptoms are very common when we consciously try to deal with the stress and say that we are managing okay. Because when we are not trying to pay heed to our mind, our body start seeking attention, and we may have headaches, we may have stomach issues. And in our culture, primarily because we put more emphasis on physical issues rather than emotional issues, they are more prominent signs of mental problems rather than, just being able to directly say that I'm feeling sad or upset. So who to reach out to? You can reach out to anybody you're comfortable with. You can talk to a confidant, be it a friend, family, partner, school, college counselor. You could talk to a family doctor. You could talk to a mental health practitioner, be it a psychologist, psychiatrist, or a psychotherapist. So we have options. When we are afraid of, when we don't know who to go to, we need to go to the first person we are comfortable with, and that is most important. How to reach out? Appointments can be fixed. There is internet, there are helplines, there's referral system. In fact, Manasthali has started recently a helpline in order to address overwhelming feelings of stress related to COVID issues and isolation associated with it. There are many others, government and non-government helplines available. So to all the people out there, not just children, not just college going young adults, but even if you see members in your family, if you see people in the friend circle who appear to be not okay, not well, give them a chance to talk. Don't just ignore it. Don't just say that, ye to hona hi hai, sabhi log pareshan hai, everybody is under stress. Because for each one, it's a unique situation, and each one needs to, learn to deal with it, and each one needs the opportunity to be mentally well, in fact, holistically well. So thank you for your patience. I hope I haven't taken too much time. Over to you, Preeti.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jyoti. You have made it so simple for all of us to understand the 8 dimensions of wellness and how to take care of our own mental well-being. Ma'am, if you allow me, can we take the question answers after Dr. Shikha's session?
Definitely, no issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
This PowerPoint presentation has been so enriching, especially taking us through the emotional well-being. Now we are moving towards a very important aspect of our body, which is nutrition. Now, nutrition and food happens to us in a very common manner, but all of us, whatever we eat, we become. That's what they say, and this is what we are going to understand with our celebrity, internationally renowned dietitian and nutritionist, Shikha Sharma ji. She's a founder of Fat to Slim Group, owned 35 franchises from India, New Jersey, New York, Dubai, being awarded by SMT Simriti Irani ji and Shri Arvind Kejriwal ji as India's most renowned dietitian and nutritionist. Diet experts with Femina Miss India and Femina Star and tag as the #1 by Fit India, launched by Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Singh Modi. First dietitian who changed the world of diet into being beautiful with magical concept of eat, sleep, no exercise. Yes, you heard it right. Eat, sleep, no exercise. So welcome Shikha ma'am. Thank you so much for taking out your precious time. Shikha ma'am, kindly unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself.
So thank you so much, Preeti, for this lovely introduction. And this is all, always lovely to see your beautiful face, right? And beautiful energy. So, so now we will be starting, as you said, the most important thing, which is diet and nutrition. So, I like to, say thanks to, the honorable principal of, the college for making part of this session and the entire team of the college. So, as you mentioned that we will be, talking about diet and nutrition, which become one of the most important things. So, absolutely. Because जब 2019 था, जब कोविड शुरू हुआ, right? So सबको लगा 20 में 2021 में खत्म हो जाएगा, right? Every one of you, me, everyone, we thought 2021 will be, COVID will finish, right? But 21 has become more dangerous for everyone. It become more dangerous for each and every household. Because अब बात ये नहीं है कि कोविड नहीं होगा, अब बात ये है कि कोविड होगा, बट हमें उससे किस तरीके से निकलना है. Right, so now it's not about that we'll not get COVID, we'll get maybe this, maybe second, third wave, but how beautifully we gonna come out from there. And and when nowadays every doctor is also mentioning one thing, that diet is play a very very important role. Diet plays a very important role, because हमें ये समझना है कि जो हम खा रहे हैं वैसे ही हमारी बॉडी बन रही है. और दिस इज लिटिल सैड पार्ट विच आई लाइक टू शेयर. जैसे एनालिटिक देखा जा रहा है, जो रेशियो है, the senior people, they coming out from the COVID warrior beautifully, whereas a beautiful life for the youngsters we are losing in. So why this difference is coming? ये difference क्यों आ रहा है? Because maybe the kind of the food our senior people have eaten, जिस तरह का उन्होंने खाना खाया है, it is make their body more strong. जबकि जो आज चीजें हम डाइट में फॉलो कर रहे हैं, जो डाइट लाइफस्टाइल हमने बना लिया है, maybe because of that our body immune has surpassed, right? Our nutrition, we are losing on our nutrition part. And when we talk about the diet, everybody will think that कोई आएगा जो बताएगा कि ब्रोकली और एवोकाडो कैसे खाना है. Well, this is where we are actually doing wrong. कि हमने अपनी डाइट को एक इंटरनेशनल लाइफस्टाइल बना लिया है. हमने अपनी डाइट को एक वो लाइफस्टाइल बना लिया है, वो खाना बना लिया है जो हमने बचपन से नहीं, माँ के पेट से भी नहीं खाया. So just imagine we eating that kind of food जिससे हमारी क्रिएशन नहीं हुई है. We are eating broccoli जबकि हमें गोभी खानी चाहिए. We are eating avocado whereas we should eat aloo. So this is where we going big time wrong. So first we have to make sure in your diet you need to come back to the food जो आप बचपन से नहीं, माँ के पेट से खा रहे हैं. Right? That is very very important for your body nutrition, even for your fitness as well. Taking ahead this session, I like to share, because यहाँ पे बहुत सारी youngsters हैं, that I have my own journey. I like to share this. I have my own journey from 86 kg to 52. Right? So जहाँ पे सबको जो लगता है एक बात कि डाइट का मतलब है कि हमें एक स्पेशल लाइफस्टाइल फॉलो करना है, ब्रान आटा खाना है, ओट्स आटा खाना है. And I've seen a trend in youngster taking a lot of green tea. Well, this is absolutely wrong, because जितना आप अपने किचन से जुड़ेंगे, कहते हैं ना माँ के खाने से जुड़ेंगे, the more you getting fit and more you are getting energetic and more you working on your immune system. और जैसे कि आज हम बात कोविड की कर रहे हैं, right? So COVID, lot of people have a lot of misconception about the COVID diet, right? Instagram, हमारे WhatsApp यूनिवर्सिटी में सडनली कुछ आ जाता है और messages इधर से उधर जाते हैं, and we think, oh, I have to eat this. So first 6 things, if you are suffering from COVID, if you are recovering from COVID, ये 6 चीजें आपको बिल्कुल भी नहीं खानी है, जिसमें सबसे पहले है बनाना, केला. Right? You should not be taking banana if you are suffering from COVID and if you are recovering from COVID, because when you take banana, so और ये जैसे बोला जा रहा है, ये वाला कोविड हमारे लंग्स पे हैवी हो रहा है, लंग्स पैचेस बना रहा है. So जो बनाना है वो आपको और स्पाज्म दे सकता है, right? It can be increase the problem. So one fruit that you need to avoid while having a COVID and after recovery is banana. Second है curd, दही. दही अगर आपको अभी कोविड है और या फिर आप कोविड से रिकवर कर रहे हैं, तो आपको दही या छाछ बिल्कुल नहीं लेनी है. You should not be taking, because when if you have a COVID और अगर आपको सीवियर भी अगर पैच आया है लंग्स में या थोड़ी सी भी ऑक्सीजन डिप डाउन कर रही है, तो आपको दही ठंडा करेगी और आपका स्पाज्म बढ़ सकता है, आपका नोज कंजेशन बढ़ सकता है. तो आपको दही या छाछ बिल्कुल नहीं लेनी है. उसके बाद है हमारा अनियन, प्याज. जैसे कि व्हाट्सएप यूनिवर्सिटी पे हम आए दिन देख रहे हैं, प्याज खाइए, प्याज से हम ठीक हो जाएंगे. वेल नो, बिकॉज कच्चा प्याज खाने से आपको एसिडिटी बन सकती है. और जैसे कि देखा जा रहा है, व्हाइल हैविंग अ कोविड और आफ्टर रिकवरी बहुत ज्यादा गैस्ट्रिक प्रॉब्लम हो रही है कोविड पेशेंट्स को, एंड दैट इज द रीजन डॉक्टर पेंटासिट रिकमेंड कर रहे हैं. तो अगर आप कच्चा प्याज ज्यादा खा रहे हैं तो आपको गैस्ट्रिक की प्रॉब्लम बढ़ सकती है. उसके अलावा 4th चीज जो आपको नहीं लेनी है, ब्रेड. राइट? क्योंकि यूजुअली क्या एक ट्रेंड बना है जो बचपन से मैंने माय मदर आल्सो यूज्ड टू डू, बुखार हुआ तो शाम को ब्रेड दे दी. ब्रेड हल्की होती है, बट ये वो वाली बीमारियां नहीं है जो हमारे सालों से चल रही. दिस इज न्यू फॉर एवरीवन, फॉर द डॉक्टर, फॉर मी, फॉर यू. सो एक चीज है जो आपको नहीं लेनी है, वो ब्रेड, क्योंकि उसके अंदर मैदा होता है. तो चाहे आप व्हाइट ब्रेड ले रहे हैं या फिर ब्राउन ब्रेड ले रहे हैं, दोनों चीजों में मैदा होता है, तो आपको बिल्कुल ब्रेड अवॉइड करनी है. उसके बाद है उसके बाद हमारे बिस्किट. आपको अगर आप कोविड अभी है और आप रिकवर कर रहे हैं, यू मे बी और एनी ऑफ ए फैमिली मेंबर, यू शुड अवॉइड बिस्किट्स कंप्लीटली, चाहे वो मेरिगोल्ड बिस्किट्स है, एनी बिस्किट, बिकॉज एवरी बिस्किट हैव मैदा इन इट, राइट? सो दीज आर द थिंग्स जो आपको व्हाइल हैविंग अ कोविड और रिकवरिंग फ्रॉम कोविड बिल्कुल नहीं लेनी है. Right now, what kind of a diet we should follow if you are suffering from COVID or from recovering, and to boost your immune system, right? कौन सी ऐसी चीजें हैं जो आपको मैक्सिमम अपने लिए और अपनी फैमिली के लिए लेनी है? And all the teachers out here, vitamin C, right? Vitamin C, right, is the one of the most important play that gonna play right now for our immune system, जिसके अंदर सबसे पहला है आंवला, कच्चा आंवला, राइट? आपको और आपकी फैमिली को रोज एक कच्चा आंवला लेना है, बिकॉज आंवला इज फुल ऑफ विटामिन सी. अगर आप आंवले का, बहुत लोग पूछ रहे हैं हम जूस ले सकते हैं, पाउडर ले सकते हैं, आपको ना जूस लेना है ना पाउडर लेना, बिकॉज दे आर पैक्ड थिंग्स, राइट? सो यू नीड टू टेक अ कच्चा आंवला. और अगर कच्चा आंवला बच्चे हैं, आप लोगों से नहीं खाया जाता है, so what you can do, just cut with your meal, और अपनी हर बाइट में चपाती के साथ अचार की तरह आप उसे खा सकते हैं. उसके अलावा, now it is very important to take fruits. So guys, when I talk about the fruits, I'm not talking about the fruits because I'm a dietitian, right? If you listen my talk on weight loss, I never spoken about the fruits much, right? I never used to say अगर खाने की जगह fruits खाने चाहिए, not at all, right? Because हमारा खाना, हमारा breakfast, lunch, dinner इंपॉर्टेंट है. फ्रूट्स अगर लेने हैं वेट लूज के दौरान, आप एक फिलर की तरह ले सकते हैं, राइट? बट नाउ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट कोविड, दिस कोविड सेकंड एंड द थर्ड वेव व्हिच मे बी वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग, राइट? सो इसमें आपको फ्रूट जरूर लेने हैं. और कौन से फ्रूट्स आपको लेने हैं? सबसे पहले है हमारा कीवी. कीवी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट यू हैव टू कंज्यूम, और आप अपने बच्चों को भी दे सकते हैं, बिकॉज एज वी सेड, राइट, दैट दिस थर्ड वेव इज गोना बी डेंजर फॉर द किड. And then the apple, then your come is guava, amrud, papaya, watermelon, right? अगर ऑरेंज नहीं मिल रहे हैं तो आप आमटा होता है, राइट, या फिर मौसमी होती है, आप उसको ले सकते हैं. और जो लोग पाइनएप्पल लेना चाहते हैं, बिकॉज पाइनएप्पल इज वेरी गुड ऑफ विटामिन सी, बट द मिस्टेक पीपल आर डूइंग टू कंज्यूम द पाइनएप्पल, वो बाहर से प्री कट लेके आ रहे हैं, राइट? दे टेकिंग अ प्री कट पाइनएप्पल. बिल्कुल भी आपको इस तरह नहीं करना है, बिकॉज अगर आप बाहर से कटवा के पाइनएप्पल लेके आ रहे हैं, तो आप क्या कर रहे हैं? बेसिकली जो हाथों का वायरस है, हाथों की जर्म्स है, बैक्टीरिया है, वो उसमें कट रहे हैं, एंड यू ईटिंग द सेम थिंग. सो डोंट डू दैट. इफ यू वांट टू कंज्यूम पाइनएप्पल, कट एट योर होम, राइट? तो उस एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, सो आपको ये फ्रूट्स और आंवला आपको रोज अपनी डाइट में लेना है, इफ यू सफरिंग फ्रॉम कोविड, आफ्टर रिकवरिंग फ्रॉम कोविड, एंड टू बूस्ट योर इम्यून फॉर यू एंड फॉर योर फैमिली. उसके अलावा हमारी डाइट कैसी होनी चाहिए, राइट? सो इन दिस कोविड वेव, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ अ डाइट वी शुड फॉलो? सबसे पहले, अगर आप किसी भी प्रोटीन सप्लीमेंट पे है, अगर प्रोटीन पाउडर पे है, अगर किसी वेट सप्लीमेंट पे है, फूड सप्लीमेंट पे है, सपोज you all guys are young, sitting at home, चलो पतला होना है तो कोई मील रिप्लेसमेंट मंगवा लिया पतले वेट कम करने के लिए, प्लीज स्टॉप राइट अवे, बिकॉज एनीवेज दिस सप्लीमेंट्स आर नॉट गुड, बिकॉज खाना कभी कोई शेक का रिप्लेसमेंट नहीं कर सकता है, राइट? खाना क्या है? खाना बेसिकली हमारी बॉडी के लिए पेट्रोल है. हमारी बॉडी क्या है? बॉडी इज लाइक अ मशीन. अभी मैं आपसे बात कर रही हूँ, राइट? सो इट्स अगेन माई मशीन इज वर्किंग. So if I not put the proper petrol in this body like a food, क्या होगा? Body blast कर जाएगी. And that is the reason, lot of time when you trying to lose weight, आपका face का charm चला जाता है, आपके बाल बिल्कुल चले जाते हैं, body के अंदर energy नहीं रहती है. Why? Because body को proper petrol नहीं मिला है. So anyways, अब तो आपको पेट्रोल डालना है, और अपनी कोविड से अपनी रिकवरी के लिए या कोविड से अपने इम्यून को स्ट्रॉन्ग करने के लिए आपको खाना खाना बहुत जरूरी है. तो अगर आप कोई भी सप्लीमेंट्स ले रहे हैं, वेट रिडक्शन सप्लीमेंट, मील रिप्लेसमेंट, प्रोटीन शेक्स, आपको बिल्कुल रोक देने हैं। उसकी जगह आपको अपनी मील प्लान में आपको बाजरे की रोटी या रागी की रोटी का ज्यादा कंजप्शन करना, बिकॉज बाजरा एंड रागी इज वेरी गुड फॉर द इंक्रीजिंग योर इम्यून सिस्टम। एंड आफ्टर कोविड आपकी गुड प्रोटीन डाइट, right, good protein diet will really help you, you know, increasing your you know, immune system. But हमें ये भी साथ में ध्यान रखना है कि अगर कोविड के बाद अगर हम हाई प्रोटीन डाइट ले रहे हैं तो हमारा वेट ज्यादा नहीं बढ़ना चाहिए, बिकॉज दैट अगेन गोना बी हैविंग प्रॉब्लम। और जैसे कि बात हम सब्जियों की कर रहे हैं कि कोविड के टाइम पे हमें यू नो रेगुलरली वी आर लिसनिंग दैट वी शुड कंज्यूम मोर ऑफ ग्रीन वेजिटेबल, हमें घिया तोरी टिंडा ज्यादा खाना है। वेल, नॉट एट ऑल। We have to consume all kind of vegetables, right? Because this is a very misconception कि घिया तोरी टिंडे के अंदर ही सारा न्यूट्रिशन होता है। अगर ऐसा होता, so I'm sure जब हम बच्चे थे और या फिर you know any teacher who have a kids, बच्चे तो घिया तोरी टिंडा खाते ही नहीं है, so they should be the more malnutrition you know creature on this earth, right? But it's not like that. We need to understand एवरी सॉर्ट ऑफ वेजिटेबल, चाहे आप मटर खा रहे हैं या मशरूम खा रहे हैं, जो भी आप सब्जी खा रहे हैं, हर सब्जी में अपना न्यूट्रिशन है। और हम बात अब करते हैं आलू की, राइट? सो यूजुअली जो एक चीज जुड़ी हुई है आलू से, वो ये जुड़ी हुई है, आलू खाएगी आलू जैसी हो जाएगी, आलू खाएगा भालू बन जाएगा। वेल, दिस इज द वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट मिसकंसेप्शन कि आलू हमें मोटा करता है। विद माय 35 फ्रेंचाइजी वर्ल्ड ओवर, वी आर द फर्स्ट ब्रांड जो आलू खिलाता है। और ये कोई मैजिक नहीं है, बेसिकली आलू नेवर मेक्स अस मोटा, क्योंकि आलू हम यू नो आलू से अगर हम मोटे होते तो entire India should be mota, because this is something that we are eating since we were there in mummy tummy. In fact, aloo is very important as a source of the calcium and preventing from the cancer. So it's gonna work beautifully for your immune system as well, right? So consuming aloo gobi, aloo anything is as important as any other vegetable, and it never increase your fat. This is the one of the biggest misconception. Right now, you know, as and top of it, जो एक बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन रहता है कि हमें ग्रीन टी कितनी लेनी चाहिए, you right, how much green tea that we should take, right, even right now, or for the weight lose or for the immune, दूध वाली चाय लेनी चाहिए नहीं लेनी चाहिए। So my one thing is, ये बहुत बड़ा myth है that green tea make you lose weight. अगर ऐसा होता, did you know anyone, you all the students out here, you know, though I cannot see anybody's faces, so क्या हमारी दादी माँ नानी माँ ने कभी ग्रीन टी पी है? अगर उन्होंने नहीं पी है, they should be the most obese people and the people whose immune, you know, body should be gone for a toss. No, they are much healthier than us, right? So green tea is not for the right for the great health, it's just for the relaxing of the body. अगर आपको टेस्ट पसंद है तो ग्रीन टी लीजिए, अगर नहीं पसंद है तो आपकी मर्जी है, राइट? द बेस्ट टी विच यू कैन टेक इज द दूध वाला चाय एंड दूध वाला कॉफी, क्योंकि यही है जो हमारी दादी माँ नानी माँ बचपन से लेते आ रहे हैं, एंड दे आर मच फिटर, एंड कोविड राइट नाउ हैज प्रूव्ड दैट देयर सर्वाइवल रेट even after damage of 21% of lungs, they are able to survive, right? और आप दूध वाली चाय दूध वाली कॉफी बिल्कुल ले सकते हैं। कोविड के दौरान एक टाइम पे ले सकते हैं, रिकवरी के बाद 2 टाइम पे ले सकते हैं, बस उसमें चीनी की जगह, राइट, चीनी की जगह आपको स्टीविया का इस्तेमाल करना है, राइट? स्टीविया इज द नेचुरल फॉर्म ऑफ शुगर, राइट? उसका आपको इस्तेमाल करना है। आपको कोविड के दौरान या कोविड की रिकवरी के बाद आपको सफेद चीनी का, ब्राउन शुगर का, जैगरी का या फिर हनी का, चारों चीजों का इस्तेमाल नहीं करना है, बिकॉज जैगरी और हनी मैं इसलिए मना कर रही हूँ क्योंकि वो मिलावट हो सकती है, उसके अंदर सफेद चीनी हो सकती है। सो लेट्स बी ऑन सेफर साइड, लेट्स नॉट टेक दैट, राइट? So I'm sure you all guys are feeling happy that you're eating aloo, taking a green tea, right? Enjoying the food and getting fit and working on your immune as well. Now let's talk about the kada. Well, you know, like when we talk about our Ayurveda and herbs and spices, so you know, जब कोविड लास्ट ईयर हमारा आया, जब कोई मेडिसिन नहीं थी, जब कोई वैक्सीन नहीं थी, lot of people have recovered from our kitchen spices, because ये kitchen spices कोई मसाले नहीं है, these are the biggest medicine which is given by the nature. उसका एक बहुत बड़ा एग्जाम्पल है, जब माँ को दूध नहीं आता था तो उसको जीरा क्यों दिया जाता है? जब बच्चे के पेट में दर्द होता है तो उसको हींग क्यों दी जाती है, जब गैस बनती है तो अजवाइन क्यों दी जाती है? Because these are not masalas, these are the biggest blessing from the nature which is given to the living thing, right? And we need to understand, अगर हमें इस यूनिवर्स ने बनाया है तो यूनिवर्स ने ही ठीक करने की चीजें भी बनाई है। तो बिल्कुल आपको कोविड है तो आप काढ़ा ले सकते हैं, अपनी इम्यून बूस्ट के लिए भी काढ़ा ले सकते हो, रिकवरी के बाद ले सकते हैं। बट लोग गलती कहाँ कर रहे हैं? जब भर भर के काढ़े ले रहे हैं, राइट? एंड वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हेन यू हैव अ कोविड, यू नो, लाइक ऑलरेडी अगर आप स्टीरॉइड्स पे हैं, ज्यादा दवाइयों पे हैं और बुखार आपको ज्यादा आ रहा है, आप बहुत ज्यादा गरम गरम काढ़े पी रहे हैं, तो आपके मुंह में छाले हो सकते हैं, पेट के अंदर छाले हो सकते हैं, मुंह के ऊपर पिंपल्स हो सकते हैं। तो काढ़ा आपको, अगर आपको कोविड है और आप रिकवर कर रहे हैं या इम्यून के लिए, आपको सिर्फ 2 बारी लेना है, सुबह खाली पेट और डिनर के बाद आपको लेना है। और राइट तरीके का काढ़ा किस तरीके से बनेगा मैं आपको बता देती हूँ। आपको कोई स्टील भर के ग्लास नहीं लेना है, अपना छोटा वाला, यू नो, एनी ग्लास दैट यू कैन टेक फ्रॉम योर किचन। आपको इतना पानी लेना है, उसके अंदर 1 चम्मच अजवाइन डालनी है, 1 चम्मच हल्दी डालनी है, 1 चम्मच जीरा डालना है, 1 चम्मच घिसा हुआ अदरक डालना है, 3 लौंग डालनी है, और अगर आप लहसुन खाते हैं तो उसकी 2 कलियां डालनी है और उसको अच्छी तरीके से पका लीजिए। और जब आपका काढ़ा इतना तैयार हो जाएगा, राइट, इतना तैयार हो जाएगा, सो यू कैन टेक इट वंस, मतलब दिस क्वांटिटी यू कैन टेक 1 एट अ टाइम। और नेक्स्ट टाइम आप जब बनाएंगे फिर से आप इतना पानी और वो सारी चीजें मिला के काढ़े को फिर से इतना कर लेंगे। सो दिस इज हाउ you know you can take kada and it will not giving you any problem. And if you have any young child, अगर आपके घर पे कोई छोटा बच्चा है तो आप 9 साल से कोई छोटा बच्चा है तो उसको आप इस काढ़े के 2 से 3 से 4 चम्मच उसके दूध में या सब्जी में डाल सकते हैं, राइट? एंड दिस विल बी ऑल सेफ फॉर द चाइल्ड, एंड बिकॉज kada will help you protect your immune system and help you a good recovery as well. So this is the simple diet that everyone you can follow to recover from the COVID and to get better from the COVID. And these are the 5 to 6 things जो आपको बिल्कुल नहीं लेनी है. So thank you so much. So this is all from my side. Yeah. Preeti, your voice is not audible.
Myself, I'm not. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Shikha ji. It was full of knowledge and very, very interesting things, especially when you said Ghiya Tinda Tori. So you actually touched the right space, and it was actually so very enlightening. And there was so many myths and misconceptions what we have about food. And thanks for clearing our doubts and enhancing our understanding, especially pertaining to the nutrition. And thank you so much for taking out your precious time. I know you have another session. So thank you so much for taking out your precious time. And we look forward to more interesting sessions with you in future.
Thank you so much, Preeti, right, for this amazing session and doing so good for entire society, getting people like us on the platform and helping people further. तो यही हम एक छोटी सी चीज कर सकते हैं अपनी सोसाइटी के लिए टू सेव, क्योंकि अगर हम किसी एक को भी अगर इस कोविड से बचा ले, आई गेस वी हैव डन लिटिल ऑफ आवर कर्मा. और मैं एक चीज शेयर करना चाहती हूँ टू ऑल द स्टूडेंट्स एंड टीचर आउट हियर. एक छोटा सा इनिशिएटिव शिखा शर्मा फैट टू स्लिम ग्रुप ने किया है, that if anybody need a free COVID diet, our company is giving a completely free COVID diet. So they can just DM us on our Instagram, Shikha Sharma. Just DM us the college name and the COVID diet, and we will be giving the free of cost. So this is the small initiative that we are doing. Thank you so much.
That's so kind of you. That's a great initiative, and we are really proud to be having experts like you on the panel.
Thank you so much to the entire team of the college as well. Thank you. Thanks.
So this was Shikha Sharma ji talking about the food and the nutrition and giving us.
Sorry to interrupt you, Shikha A Sharma. A is very important. Yeah.
Sure. Thanks for correcting me. So, dear friends, this was Shikha Sharma with us talking about the nutrition and the misconception what we have been following about tea and kadhas and green teas, and especially the green vegetables. Now, getting back to our expert, mental health expert, Dr. Jyoti Kapoor. As Dr. Jyoti has taken us through an very knowledgeable and enlightening PPT, and where we have understood about 8 divisions of holistic wellness. Now, I would like to ask you, ma'am, a couple of questions, which is very much relevant in today's time. Like all of us are sitting in the home, and it's been a lockdown, especially in Delhi. It has been extended over and over the weeks. All of us are very frustrated inside, and we are taking out that frustration, that anger on our family members. How to deal with that anger and frustration? What is there inside?
Right. Yeah, Preeti, and frustration has been building up, I think, right, left, center, everywhere. Why does frustration build? Why do we get angry? So if we have to understand the psychology behind anger, we have to understand what does stress do to us. Stress basically is something that happens when we are threatened, when our nervous system feels that there's something that can harm us or hurt us. When that happens, we have higher levels of stress chemicals in our brain, which is meant to deal with the stress by either fighting or running away from it. So we call it a fight or flight reaction. So we get angry or we get frustrated because we are feeling threatened. So anger is basically not a statement of power. Anger is not does not happen to people who are secure and feeling relaxed and uh, I have trust in themselves. Anger happens among people who are insecure, who are afraid of something, and that's when they are trying to defend themselves or protect themselves. So this is important. You have to write it down somewhere that if I'm angry, what am I angry over? So in anger management, first and foremost thing is to be able to identify how you feel when you're angry. So we say you identify yourself, your the reactions in your body. So physically, you will feel an increase in muscle tension, an increase in heart rate, and increase in shallow breathing or thoracic breathing. You might feel, your face turning red, which means that blood vessels are getting dilated and there is a feeling of heat. This is a physical reaction. Emotionally, we are uncomfortable, we are restless, we can't sit, we can't think. When we are angry, we can't think logically. And that is the stage when the brain is completely focusing on what can harm me, what can hurt me, and is then trying to deal with it. Now, what happens when we are feeling this way? We are actually, you might have heard of the story of a soldier who is, on the border, and then a cat crosses the border and the person just fires the bullet, and then the war starts. It was a cat, but because our brain is in a hyper alert state, it wants to react to anything that is around us. So we get angry, we snap at our people in the house, our children, and mostly for provocations which are pretty minor, and later we start feeling guilty. So if we want to improve our understanding of what we are doing, how we are reacting, as I told you, in the paradigm of mental health, we have to do it before we get angry, not when we are angry. When we are angry, we won't be able to deal with it. So before that, we have to be able to understand that anger in me is a reaction to a threat. So what is threat? What is threatening me? I am indoors. I am not able to go out. I'm not able to enjoy things. Fine. But am I under danger? Is there fire? Is there earthquake? I mean, one funny thing, strange thing, or if you want to call it divine thing about this particular thing is that you actually have some control over your life. It's not like a natural calamity. It's affecting nobody other than human
Absolutely.
beings. The nature is beautiful, the animals are free, the birds are flying, everything is there. Can we focus on that? Can we enjoy that while staying within the boundaries? Because being in the house doesn't mean that you are limited, because what actually makes us free is our brain. You can be anywhere mentally if you open your horizons. So one, you are not imprisoned. You are being given an opportunity to explore something far more bigger than the physical world, which is your internal world. And if you focus on that, you have a lots and lots to do. Second, if you are getting upset, we have to pinpoint what is it that upsets me. Many of the times it is because we are facing each other all day long, we don't get personal space. So identifying your personal space is important. You might live in a one-room apartment, you can still have a corner to yourself. We have to adapt to the situation one way or the other, and space is a luxury. So let's create our own space. Make it your own. Make that nook your own. There is nothing wrong in having that nook to yourself. There is a boundary. You put a thing or two that to familiarize yourself to that room and use it for your own space. 3, tell other people you would not, there would be some time in the day when you would not like to be interrupted. 4, understand that everybody is in the same situation, so you are not the only one who is under stress. Everybody is, from a 4-year-old to who can't get out of the house to an 80-year-old who can't go for his morning walks. Everybody is stuck. So it's not like I am the only one who is stuck out here. Everybody is. And 5, be grateful that we have a house that we can stay in. We are getting food. We have electricity. We have so many things that we think that which many people might not even have. So these are the few things that we can focus on. But for anger management, primarily the first thing and foremost thing is to practice anger management. When you get angry, like people say, take a step back from the situation. Once you have identified that this is what starts happening, I start breathing shallow, I start feeling like irritated, muscle tension increases, take a step back. Breathe, it helps. So breathe through your nose and exhale through your mouth. This is how you convert the shallow thoracic breathing into a deeper abdominal breathing, which is our natural breathing, and it helps us. 3, when they say ulti ginti, it really makes sense because you have to distract yourself with something that you generally don't do. So whether it is counting from 100 to 1, 10 to 1 might not really work, or whether it is, spelling your name in the opposite direction, it is going to work. 4, write down what is making you angry. Move out of the situation. You have all that anger, boiling up, gali deni hai, government ko deni hai, I don't want to name people ko deni hai, kuch bhi karna hai, write it down on a piece of paper, let it out of your system, and then you can tear it off and put it in the dustbin, telling yourself that, okay, I am fine now. And 4, if it still continues to bug you, then you have to probably take a bath, eat something, take something sweet, or talk to somebody who can help you. So these people who can help you can be, like I mentioned, friends, confidants, psychologists, therapists, anybody you're comfortable with. So since anger management is a whole 1-hour session, I'm trying to squeeze it into it. So I hope I have answered that question.
Beautifully answered, Dr. Jyoti. I must say I can so much relate to this because these are my tried and tested formulas. Like you mentioned, that when I really get upset on something, I write it down on a paper, I tear the paper, and to all the dear friends, those who are watching us in Zoom session, and especially we have Facebook Live. So there are many people out there, those who are watching this tips, which Dr. Jyoti is sharing with us. Please start taking into action. It is going to change our life forever. These are life-changing tips and tricks, and Dr. Jyoti is well-renowned and very knowledgeable expert. She has taken out her time today to help all of us. Ma'am, I'm getting a lot of questions here that Ajit Kumarji has asked from the Facebook, that mental well-being of adult, teenager, and students is different. But what I believe, that one thing remains the same, that all of us have the ability to handle our emotions very intelligently. So so especially in the young adults, what we have seen is we are getting more depression cases in young adults, especially in the within the age group of 20 to 30. So let's say if I am having a battle with a depression, or someone in my family is having a bet, how to help myself, how to help them?
Right, Preeti, and very valid question. I'm glad we are taking it up in this short time. You know that India is soon becoming the world capital of suicides, and maximum suicides are occurring in the age group of 20 to 45 years of age, which is so unfortunate. So depression is basically a mood disorder wherein our mood, when we say mood, we are talking about happiness, sadness, anger, frustration, anxiety. When our mood becomes unstable and is usually dipping down lower, you're not able to feel happy. Now, feeling happy or feeling sad biologically is the function of a neurochemical in our brain. Not one, in fact, a number of neurochemicals, but let's say that there is a neurochemical S. When there is something good, it happens, our neurochemical goes up, we feel good, then it comes down to normal. This normal is our state of well-being, which is different for different people. So some people are like more chirpy, happy, and some people are a little bit lower on that, but we have a general, say a range. And then something goes wrong, the chemical dips and comes back to normal. So this is a natural cycle. Depression occurs when our chemical dips and dips and dips and cannot come back to normal. So no matter how much we are trying to make ourselves feel happy, it's just not happening. So if you are continuously feeling sad, upset, if you're feeling like you're losing interest in things that you used to enjoy earlier, like you don't want to talk to people, like everything feels like, worthless, you feel that there's no point going on and living itself is painful, which should be a happy experience, blissful experience. You're not looking forward to anything. And this situation is continuously going on. It means that you might be suffering from clinical depression, or somebody else who is going through the same thing might be. So what do we do about it? First and foremost, accept it. Let the person talk. The most unfortunate thing I have seen people do is tell people, face up, get out of
सब
this
ठीक हो
situation.
जाएगा तू
Yeah.
बिल्कुल या
Yeah, don't worry. Let's, it's going to be fine. चल
जजमेंट
मूवी देख लेते हैं.
जी जज करते
दारू पी
हैं
लेते
या पेरेंटिंग शुरू कर देते हैं अपने हिसाब से उन्हें राय देने लगते हैं जी I'm sorry ma'am your microphone is muted kindly unmute yourself
Yeah.
yeah
Was my mouse moving on its own? So this is unfortunate thing I have seen happen, and all the more unfortunate that I have seen parents ignore their children's complaint that they are not feeling well by telling them, what is it that you have to be stressed about? We are the ones who are taking the toll of everything. Tumko kya chinta karne ki zarurat hai? So we have to understand that it is brain chemistry. It is neurochemistry. It's not something like some people have tried to say over past 100 years is created by psychiatrists to create a profession. Nothing happens without a reason. There was a need for a certain profession, so that profession came up. If there was no need, there would not have been a profession like that. So it's not like the aim of the psychiatrist is, put your child to sleep, or, get your friend addicted to drugs, or to just earn money. The aim of psychiatry is to be able to identify a problem. So when you talk, we first identify. If there is a problem, we'll properly guide you. Guiding would be in terms of whether we need medication or therapy or counseling. So first and foremost thing is accept that there is a problem. It's not something that is coming out of a void. It's taking lives. It's making young people commit suicide, which is so unfortunate. We have been given a life because of a reason, a human life with a brain, and we are just letting it go waste because we feel we can't deal with it. There must be something that can be done about it. So acknowledge and accept. And once you have accepted, you need to encourage or motivate the person to seek help, because in that state a person is feeling helpless. उसको लगता है उसको कोई नहीं मदद कर सकता दुनिया में. लेकिन अगर आप रिपीटेडली कहते हो कि जब मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूँ मदद करने की, तो कोई नहीं तो कह भी नहीं सकता है.
और मैं ऐसे लोगों को लगता है कि सब मेरे दुश्मन हो गए हैं everyone is against me. कुछ अच्छा भी बोलते हैं तो उनको लगता है नहीं. ऐसा भी होता है.
Because our focus is when your stress, when your happy chemical is low, basically again your brain is in the same mode of flight or fight. Because your happy chemical is low, matlab something is wrong. When something is wrong, I have to figure what is wrong. If I can't find it, then I will make it up. I'll make it up that a cat is crossing the border. So we focus more on the negative. These are given things. So if you are feeling this way and people around you are not supporting that you should go out and meet somebody, go ahead and meet. Nobody is going to make you swallow a pill. You just want to talk about it. Two, if you need treatment, it's a treatment. Like you would need treatment for a physical illness, you might need treatment for a mental illness. हम थायराइड की दवाई खा सकते हैं, शुगर की खा सकते हैं, ब्लड प्रेशर की खा सकते हैं, तो इसकी भी खा सकते हैं. And third, it's not like medicines that are given in psychiatry are aimed to put you to sleep. They are not. They are not aimed to get you addicted to them. No, we are not supposed to prescribe medicines that can make you addicted. That is the reason these are so restricted medicines. Not that they are dangerous, but the fact that if you didn't take them under supervision, you could harm yourself. So that is what your professional is going to do. So mental wellness, as I said, is not just absence of disease, but to be able to avoid reaching a stage of illness, we have to start looking at it right now, today itself, as to what am I doing, how it is affecting me, and what I can do about it.
Wow, this was amazing, ma'am. I'm running short of words to express my humble thanks to you. And you have provided us with a very valuable support and enriching today's holistic wellness session, not only to mental wellness, but also giving us knowledge, wisdom about spiritual wellness, environmental wellness, and social wellness. Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking out your precious time.
Thank you, everyone. And like I mentioned, if anybody wants to talk, there is a helpline. It's not charged. People can call us and talk about it. So I'll be leaving now. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am. So this was Dr. Jyoti Kapoor. She has also started a helpline to support all the COVID family members free of cost. She's giving consultation on mental health. I am really happy and glad to welcome our guest of honor for today's. Ms. Shibani Kashyap is there with us, friends. She's joined us, and it was like my heart fills with a lot of gratitude and respect for our guest of honor, because she has especially taken out her precious time to motivate the youngsters, to motivate the other people out there. So I take the opportunity to welcome Ms. Shibani. I can see Shibani ma'am here. So
Hi.
hello ma'am, good evening.
Hi,
You
Preeti ji.
look beautiful as ever.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me on this very wonderful platform once again on Sattva Nation and Atmaram Sanatan Dharma, of course. And it's great to be here this afternoon.
Yes, and we are really happy and glad that you have taken out your time. And recently, you have also launched a video with the ministry participation, where you are supporting other tribes and other states also to get over the COVID low vibes and negativity through music.
Yes. That's right, Preeti ji. The song is called Tufano Se. It's a song which features me, Kailash Kher, and Sudesh Bhosle ji. This is an initiative by the Minority Ministry and in association with the Government of India. It's an initiative by them. Basically, it's a tribute to the COVID warriors. You know, to all the people who are actually out there working for us to save our lives, the medical the medical workers, the doctors, the nurses, and the essential workers, and basically everybody who's out there in the field, and even people like you who are trying to do these webinars virtually, so that you can address the problems of youth, of the youth and the people who are going through the mental stress at these times, since these are tough times.
Yes, absolutely. And the great musical souls like you have come forward to support and motivate and inspire us. So I would request you if you could help us understand how music can help us changing not even our lives, also helping us coming over with those negative emotions what we get. Because before, we were actually discussing this only with Dr. Jyoti Kapoor, that physical wellness is one thing, but mentally we are really going through such a tough time. But honestly, music has helped me a lot to cope up with negative vibes. And
I'm so glad to hear that, Preeti ji, that music has helped you a lot. In fact, music is a divine gift. It's a blessing, and it's a blessing not just if you're an artist yourself, but also for people who have the ability to appreciate music. So, and especially at these times, music should be made a very integral part of our daily lives. We should begin the day with some beautiful chants and mantras, and listening to some something very positive, something very pure. So that in the morning, I'm sure we all know that our brain gets programmed uh, to how you initiate the day. So if you initiate the day with some nice, beautiful music, the entire day will go like that. One will be in a very positive frame of mind, very energetic. And music has the power to heal. It has the power to stimulate. It is therapeutic and invigorating. Music हमें नचा भी देता है, music हमें कभी कभी रुला भी देता है, music हमें हंसा देता है. Music has so many diverse qualities. And of course, I'd like to quote Beethoven. Beethoven had once said that music is a higher revelation than any wisdom or philosophy. It is the electrical soil within which the spirit lives, thinks, and invents. And Shakespeare had said, if music be the food of love, play on. And truly, I think music is a blessing. It is something which has so many different qualities and healing powers. The main thing is these days, healing powers. I truly believe that when you hear the Mahamrityunjay mantra, it will heal. If you chant it yourself, it can have even better and stronger effects. So there are certain mantras, there's certain chants, there's certain music which you hear at a certain frequency. It is all there on the internet. You just have to type that, okay, I want to be in an elevated mood. I want music for maybe relaxation, or I want music for meditation. There is a huge plethora of music out there available. So we are blessed that even though it is locked down, but we have the advantage of internet and online, so that we can actually that opens the world to us. And even if we are not singers, then people who are not singers, they can try some humming. They can try something called brahmari, which is a very important part of pranayam, which is humming. And when you do om chanting and brahmari, these things are proved that they release certain chemicals within the brain to actually elevate the mood and the spirit. So these things are scientifically proven. So it is not just it is just a feeling, or it's an energy, it's an emotion, and it is science. There's a huge science behind it.
Absolutely. So I would request you, as all of us were waiting for some soulful, heart-touching, soul-touching music from you.
Sure. I think I would like to begin with a very favorite mantra, the Shiv mantra, which I'm going to sing out. And I hope it can help soothe people and energize people. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Jaya Jaya Shiv Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiv Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiv Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiv Shambho. Mahadev Shambho. Mahadev Shambho. Hare Hare Mahadev Shambho. Mahadev Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiv Shambho. Jaya Shiv Shambho. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
That was so very enlightening, and it actually touched our soul.
Thank you.
That's really inspiring. And as you need not to have any introduction or your contribution and kind of music you do, but what I've seen is your music is always mix of pop and Sufi, like it's a fusion which can make you dance, make you heal. So heal, I'm using this word heal, it's a very strong four alphabet word, but I truly believe that music has the capacity to heal you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and also to help you to connect to your own self. You have been doing a lot of programs on Sufi music. So what is your take on spiritual music and Sufi music?
So Preeti ji, it's a wonderful day, I have to say, because we are talking about two very, very powerful forms of music, Sufi and spiritual. And just earlier in this afternoon, I was a part of a webinar which talked about fusion music and Sufi and spiritual music, and I had the lovely opportunity of listening to and talking to some very, very powerful musicians from Istanbul and Bangladesh. And what I took back was that they were saying that Sufi music, as in Sufi music, is an expression of divinity. It is not about entertainment, but it is about an expression of divinity. And anything divine always heals and always soothes. Divinity has so much of power. There's prayer in divinity. There is healing in divinity. There's power in divinity. So when you listen to Sufi music, you just feel powerful, and you just get into a trance. And of course, spiritual music, like of a hint of which I just sang to you, uh, these these chants, these mantras, even when you hear them, they have a powerful effect on us. That is why I'm urging everyone out there, if anybody is feeling even mentally feeble or weak, or physically not well or whatever, just listen to the Mahamrityunjay mantra. It will really definitely heal you. And of course, there are times that there's a lot of pent up stress and um, you know feelings and emotions which are stuck inside your system and your being, and you just want to release them. You need to dance to that music. Then you need to have music which will make you just energized and release those toxins. So music helps you to do that as well. And so sometimes I like to do the blend of all these elements in my music, and just give a feeling of a variety of emotions in my music.
And that's what makes you what you are today, the legendary, the ultimate, and the supreme soul, not because
I
of
I don't think
what
I'm
you do.
legendary. No, no, no. I have a long way to go.
Living legend, living legend. No,
No, no,
but
no, not living legend, not nothing, nowhere close to a legend. I'm just a mere artist, and I think there's a long way to go, miles to go, before I can actually take that leap and say, oh, legend and all. But yes, I think it's always wonderful to keep the quest for learning on, the quest for knowledge, and keep learning more and more and more, and keep imbibing more and more into your life.
wow, that's amazing. And especially the way you defended yourself, that you have a long way. It shows that the true human, and that's what we believe in Sattva also, that we all of us are the unique creation of God, and we just have to recognize our potential and become our own best selves. No competition with anyone, just become your best version.
That is so beautiful. What a lovely thing which I'm going to take back today from you.
Ah. So can I request you for another, like a soulful music?
Absolutely. So since we were talking about Sufi, I'm going to do a Sufi song.
Sure.
Alifala chambe di booty te naal mere murshid man vich lae ho navi azbaad da pani de har rage har jahi ho जुग जुग जीवे मेरा मुर्शिद सोण अते जिस ए बूटी लाई हूँ फिर मेरे जुगड़ी जी
I'm short of words. I'm running out of words to express my humble thanks, gratitude. My heart fills with a lot of gratitude. Thank you so much for making today's evening so special for all of us, and you have made our weekend. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you. It was wonderful being here. And earlier, I had already joined in, and it was wonderful to listen to your conversation with Dr. Jyoti Kapoor as well. So all these things are always wonderful insights for everybody. And I hope whatever I said about music and healing, I hope it could help a lot of people out there.
Thank you so much, Shibani.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Have a blissful weekend. Bye-bye.
You too. Thank you very much. Stay safe, stay happy, stay Sattva.
Stay Sattva. So friends, this was Miss Shibani Kashyap with us singing, and I am so thankful to her. Out of her busy schedule, she could manage to take out time for Atmaram Sanatan Dharam College today, and all of us are really proud of our experts, those who have joined us today, Dr. Jyoti Kapoor, Miss Shibani Kashyap, Miss Shikha A. Sharma, because one thing which is very common to all the participants and the experts, those who have shared the panel, and most of all, I would like to thank Dr. Vinita Tuli and Dr. Ghansham Jha, the principal, for taking out this initiative to educate, to enlighten not only the college students, but also the other people, those who are also having their own battle. So all of us are the best creation of God. Please follow Sattva Nation on Instagram page. You can visit our website also. By becoming an Sattva Nation Instagram follower, you will get a lot of enlightenment sessions, and we also conduct one-on-one sessions with our experts also. I see people wants to ask questions, but looking at the time, I would request you can DM us on Sattva Nation Instagram page. It is already been shared to you on the creative, and I would request Dr. Vinita to share the Instagram handles with all the students, and you can ask your questions over there. We would love to take up your questions and give you a customized solution for all your queries. Thank you so much. Over to you, Vinita ma'am.
Thanks a lot, Ms. Preeti Singh, for this wonderful session. I would also like to thank the participants for joining, and I would also like to thank my entire webinar committee. Without them, this entire thing wouldn't have been possible. And last but not the least, the principal of our college, Professor Gyantosh Kumar Jha. Without his positive guidance and motivation, we were all feeling very, very low during this second wave of COVID pandemic, which has really created havoc in our country. And we have lost many near and dear ones. And so he really motivated us, rejuvenated us to start again this webinar series. So I'm really thankful to him, thankful to Sattva Nation, and definitely we'll connect later on for such beautiful sessions that we had. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, everyone.